When you look at the life of a butterfly, it has 4 stages before it can actually fly. When you look at the caterpillar, it can barely crawl and walk. And we all want to get to the stage where we can fly very fast and overcome all the challenges that we face when we are little. Same to a bamboo tree. When you plant a bamboo tree, you've got to wait about 4 to 5 years before you can actually see the fruits of what you planted. Today, we want to talk about something that is really touching. These are marriage issues. We all have them, we all face them, and everybody wants to become the perfect couple that they dreamt about when they were getting married. I have an expert with me in studio. My name is Betty Akuku, and I would like him to introduce himself. Welcome.
Asante. My name is Ushindi Josue Muderwa. I am a family therapist.
Welcome.
Asante.
Good to have you.
Pleasure.
When you look about marriage, Ushindi,
yes,
people are really suffering. A lot of people are so troubled. As many people as want to go in, as many really want to rush out. And I wonder what is it that is creating this exit door and exit window, and people even want to go out through the wall. What is not happening? What is the conflict? What is the problem? What is the heat inside here?
Probably I will say we are not well prepared for marriage.
Oh, really?
Yes.
People are prepared. They go for premarital counseling.
I'm not sure if that is enough for someone to be prepared for marriage.
Good one.
And the question we should ask ourselves, what is the content in premarital marriage, premarital counseling? Yes.
The content.
The content. Depending on the church or whoever you are seeing before before you get married, it's also important. But as for me, I believe we are not prepared.
We are not prepared
for marriage.
People actually believe that if you want to get married, the only thing you need to do is to go through the premarital counseling. But I'm happy to hear that we never check the content very well.
Yes.
And that is an assignment you're giving us, that much as we really want to go, then we must check the content.
Yes.
You know, it's important to study the right thing. Like you cannot go into a class studying medicine and you want to be a pilot.
Yes.
So sometimes it's like we studied the wrong thing and we want to achieve different results.
It might not be the wrong,
not
but
complete.
What will I say? You see, sometimes we have teaching which are based on experience. When you go to church, they give us teaching, actually, which are based biblically and which is true. But I am wondering if those teaching are enough
to take us through the marriage life.
Through the marriage life.
Yes.
That's my question. The second is, are they really prepared for these things? Because if you are going into marriage and you are not well prepared, you can even exit after 1 month.
After 1 month?
Yes.
When they're supposed to be so much fun.
Yes.
You're already tired.
Yes, I know. I think
I wonder what will tire you in a month. I mean, when everybody is getting married, I mean, all flowers bloom and it is, yes, I do, and to everything it is, yes, I do. That time I will get off your socks and get off your shoes and get off your coats, and everything is fine. I'm able to bear everything that comes my way. What would make me exit in a month's time?
Probably.
Unless I was forced into it.
No, probably how we manage conflict.
Okay.
Probably how your perspective about marriage. But mainly, let me talk about conflict.
So do you think people walk into marriage not knowing what it is or what to expect?
Somehow, yes.
Somehow, yes.
Yes.
The people who wait until 30, 35 to get married, and what they are doing is they are checking. They are, checking themselves and checking the other partner. And there are so many things they still want to put right before getting into it. And so they take quite a lot of time.
Betty, let me just put this in this way. When you look at type of marriage, if I talk about difficult marriage, where you get married today And then you are overwhelmed with finance problem, overwhelmed with in-laws coming to stay with you. You do not expect that the first day of your marriage.
Even your spouse gets an accident and loses a leg.
That's become a difficult marriage.
Yes.
The second is a disappointing marriage, where your expectations are not met in that marriage. All these things can make someone to wonder, am I really fit for this marriage? Was I prepared for this marriage? And at the same moment, people believe that marriage means happiness.
Yes.
Marriage means happiness.
Yes.
And happiness does not entail conflicts.
Exactly. So talking about the perfect couple,
yes,
I don't know who doesn't want to be the perfect couple. You know, everybody wants to walk down the street and you're looking at them and you're saying, wow, I wish, wow, they live so well. Your neighborhood, you know, you want to be the talk of town in a better way, in a good way, positively.
Yes.
You want to be the one people look up to, you know. You want people to look at you and say, I wish, you know. So everybody is looking for this perfection.
Yes.
That perfect couple. The one who cooks a good meal for the husband and the husband says, thank you, my darling. And the one who dresses well and the husband says, you're still pretty 10 years down the line. Everyone is looking for this. You know, you have children, you have the money, you need to go out for shopping and there's a car keys and there is money, there is a credit card, there's a debit card. And this is all that you want. You don't want someone to talk to you badly. You don't want disobedient children. You don't want a spouse who does not respect you. You want someone who dances to your tune and answers all your questions from the heart. This is what everybody wants. This is what everybody else really desires. So what makes this impossible?
I think not being aware of something.
Not being aware of something.
Yes.
So there's a deception when people are saying I do.
No.
There's something hidden.
Let me just, the way I said before, we are not prepared for marriage. That's the first thing.
Not
prepared for marriage. And the second thing I want to say is when we get into marriage, we believe happy marriage do not have issues, a problem. And that's a wrong perspective about marriage.
So there's a process. That's what you're saying. To have the happy and the perfect marriage, there's a process. There are stages we must pass through before we can finally achieve.
Yes.
There's a process.
Yes.
And part of it is how we, I mean, when conflicts and all these things come, because you said the happy one, it doesn't mean that they don't have issues. That is a deception.
Yes.
That for you to be happy, it is minus those bad things that happen.
Happiness in marriage include as well issues in marriage.
It's all inclusive.
Yes.
So whoever is looking for happiness must be prepared to also have
Issues.
the salt and the pepper and the lemon and the sourness.
Yes.
Okay. Are people told such kinds of things when they're getting into marriage?
That's what I said, we are not prepared. We believe when we walk to the church, we are saying I do. It means there's no problem, there's no issues, everything will be smooth, everything will be good, which is not possible. Because where two people sit together, they'll always have some disagreements.
Some commotion, yes.
On how to prepare, on how to do, on how to relate, on how to make decisions. That I'm saying, when you look at happy marriage,
Yes.
Perfect couples, does not mean we don't have issues and problems.
It doesn't mean so.
No.
So those who are having issues, they should not think their marriage is not perfect.
Yes.
They should not think they're in the wrong place.
Yes.
Just because they have issues.
Yes.
But why are people quitting?
Because we are not prepared and we don't have accurate and relevant information regarding marriage.
Our expectation is wrong.
Yes, very
that
wrong.
Happiness is minus issues,
Yes.
minus all these difficulties.
We believe when we are happy, we do not have issues.
Everything is working
Yes.
well.
But you see, happiness, a happy marriage also involve how couple can solve their issues. Because you become happy when you know how to solve your problem.
That's how you become.
Yes.
So whoever is looking to become perfect, to become happy, they must first know There will be conflicts.
Yes.
There will be difficult times. There will be moments we did not expect. But so then they break up because they don't know that these things will come, or they don't know how to deal with them when they come. They don't know.
They don't know.
So tell us about then how we deal with conflicts. What kind, do we have any conflicts? Are there any types of conflicts, or our issues are just, he didn't bring sugar, he didn't pay school fees, he didn't pay rent? What exactly are the main issues? Because some of those things are really petty. He didn't do this, she didn't do that, she did that, he did that. Some of those things are really petty. What are the real problems that couples have to fight and deal with?
Thank you, Betty. I think we have, according to research, let me go by Gottman, what he has discovered. He has mentioned about 2 kinds of problems.
Only 2?
Only 2 problems.
Only 2?
In marriage.
There are a million of them?
No. We have only 2 problems in marriage.
Only 2 problems in marriage?
2
It's
types.
so easy to deal with then.
If someone has been skilled, it's so easy for them for him or for her to deal with
2
it.
is so easy.
So we have the solvable problem.
Solvable?
Yes. Which are basically situational problem. It's like house chore. We can have an argument with your spouse about who's supposed to do that, who's not supposed to do that. And actually, at the end of that discussion, you can come up with a solution.
Who should pay school fees?
Who
should pay the house help?
Yes.
Who should buy food? Who should fuel the car? These are
Situational problems.
situational problems.
Yes.
And you say they're solvable.
Those one you can solve.
Ooh, these are the only reasons why people walk out. So I wonder
And
why
then-
you say there are 2.
And then if they are not solvable, now you go to the second type of problem, which is unsolvable or perpetual problem. And those problems are the center of our fundamental or basic personality, lifestyle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me just give you an example. A wife or a woman who grew up in an environment where her mother used to do provision, food, store for food for a month. And he gets into a marriage where the husband gives money every day. How will they cope with that issues?
She may relax and have fun because I don't have to struggle. My mother did this. My life has changed.
No.
I have been cut from that generation struggle.
Actually, that woman can be stuck in that marriage.
Oh, really? What do you
Yes.
mean stuck?
Because if her mother used to buy food for a month, okay,
Yes.
and she get into a marriage where the husband give 200 shillings per day, go and buy food,
Yes.
that woman will feel like she's not married.
Why?
Because she has been used to see her mother going for shopping for a month and not going for any
Every
shopping
day.
every day. Okay. So when we talk about solvable problem, the situational problem, which takes place within a situation, it has happened, and you argue, you have conflict, you have discussion in regard to what is happening right now. Okay.
And you say that is solvable.
And those are solvable problem.
Do they recur?
Yes. And that I'm saying.
It becomes part of your life.
Yes.
I wonder how that becomes different from perpetual.
It's very different because perpetual problem are basically a personality style.
Yes, and I have
Personality
to
traits.
live with them like my entire life.
No, believe. Co-believe about your life. Okay. If you believe in God and you don't, and you marry someone who does not believe in God, if you believe in prayer, and the husband does not believe in prayer, but does not believe in fasting, that becomes a problem in your life, in your marriage, and which has become now a perpetual problem.
And I think that is what is easy to change. The example you're
it's
giving
not-
is easy to change.
It's not easy because every time you are fasting, I'll be feel like you don't listen to me because I believe in prayer,
Yes.
but not in fasting. Okay.
Yes.
Every time you have a fundamental change in your belief, in your personality, in your lifestyle that I'm coming with, you'll say this marriage is not working. because I used to do this life, I'm no longer doing it.
But when people are getting married, Ushindi,
Yes.
you already know you're not getting married to your brother. Just by virtue that you probably had been brought up by a similar mother in the same, conditions, environmental conditions and training, But even that, even siblings are so different in the way they do their things. So of course you have the expectation that this man is not reasoning like me. This woman doesn't think like I do. And so there's bound to be a lot of differences.
Yes.
The only problem is that when you think you're making sense and they are not making sense. But it doesn't have to be that you must do all similar things. And if you grew up taking cold ugali and tea in the morning, you don't expect everybody else to do that.
But you see, it's because you have already gained some awareness in regard of regarding problem in marriage. But let's just go back to those people who have just gotten married recently, or they have been married for 15 or 35 years.
35 years?
Yes, even 40 years. Actually, I would like to tell couples to check themselves.
40 years, they're done with all their issues.
No. Actually, I'm telling you, Gottman says 69% of our issues are perpetual, not solvable. You'll argue about them every day and you'll not get a solution about them. So if you have 10 problems in your marriage, look at them and you'll see you have 6 or 7 problems that will never get a solution.
Ouch, out of 10.
Only 3
will may get a solution.
Will get a solution.
So you need to list all your problems and then group them, whether they are solvable or
unsolvable problem. And you'll see you'll have a long discussion, but without any solution. You can even discuss.
So what are some of these things, apart from he likes prayer, he doesn't like fasting? What are some of those kinds of problems that are in this category that can actually not be solved, and we have to live with them even 40 years of marriage down the line? I mean, that is quite a long time.
And that I'm saying, when a couple identify the type of problem they're dealing with or they're facing with, they'll be better in their marriage. Because if every time we argue about sex life, okay, let me just give you an example which probably may help people to understand.
Yes.
Someone has not been taught about probably position in different position in sex, in having sex, and then your husband probably need more, or yourself you need more, or I need more, and then when you argue about it, someone say, no, I was not taught like that. We need just to do missionary position. Okay, that becomes unsolvable problem in marriage.
You don't think they may change?
They may not
because
change.
You may talk about it and even behave like, for this reason I will cheat on you, I will look elsewhere. I think people get some kind of alert and they're like, no, I need to work on it for his sake, for her sake.
The issue is,
you cannot keep and maintain the missionary style if this is what you know is killing your marriage.
But some people will tell you, this is what I know. And this what has been taught.
And they're not willing to learn
change.
Something different.
Yes.
I think that is stubbornness. That is just stubbornness.
It might not be stubbornness as you put it. It's probably ingrained in our personalities.
Look at the example that I gave you, Shindi.
Yes.
Where I grew up from a family where we take cold ugali and tea in the morning. For reasons of lack. We could not afford something else, and that's all that we knew. When I have come to your house, when I've gotten married and now I'm able to have some mandazi, I'm able to have some chicken in the morning, I'm able to have bread. I mean, it should be a joyous thing that, wow, there's a change, there's a difference. I should be able to enjoy and partake into it so quickly. Why should I stick to my ugali? Much as I stick to it, the expectation is, okay, I will taste the chicken, I will taste the mandazi, I will taste the bread, still getting attached to my ugali, but with time, my ugali will stay and I will be absorbed into this different one. You know, why would I stick into it if this other thing doesn't kill me? And if this other thing is good for my spouse?
You see, probably we are not, let me just say this differently, Betty. So our problem, our situation, they just happen. Okay.
Like that is a situation.
It's a situation problem, which can be solvable. And if it does not get a solution, it escalates. It becomes perpetual problem.
Okay.
Okay.
It
if
escalates. Okay.
If it does not get a solution, it goes to the second level. Okay. So at some point you will find yourself having a sort of problem, which escalates and becomes a perpetual problem, because you do not get a solution about it. And when I talk about not a solvable problem, I mean unsolvable problem, I mean something which is the center of our basic personality. Okay.
It is to do with the personality.
Personality.
But you see, if it is to do with the personality, Ushindi, then how can you change it?
You can.
You can.
You can. And the way we talk about it is to accommodate and to be aware of that problem. Okay? If every time you get into discussion and you are always defensive, you do not acknowledge your part, you do not see your contribution in this problem, that's become a perpetual problem.
Yes.
Because every time we
Yes,
discuss,
yes, I
you
agree.
become defensive.
Yeah.
You
And so protective of yourself.
Protective, you say, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. You do not see yourself as someone who has contributed.
Contributor, yes.
And you see in marriage, we have two type of people in marriage. We have the contributor and the maintainer of the problem. In every marriage.
We have the contributor and
the maintainer. Actually, if I come to you and I say, sweetheart, sorry for that, and you push me away, actually you have maintained the problem in marriage.
yes.
You have maintained the problem.
Yes.
Okay? If you approach me and you want to seek for a solution, and I did not respond to you the way you expected, actually I'm contributing, I'm maintaining that problem. Okay?
I get it.
So when we talk about unsolved problem, I talk about something which is fundamental, which is about your lifestyle, which is about your core belief, which is about your personality traits. And that is a bit difficult to change.
There are people who are couples, they're married and they live together, but the wife has a lifestyle of, you know, going out with her friends and coming back late. And it's not about cheating, it's not about adultery.
Yes.
It's just hanging out with her girlfriends, you know? And so she's not available to mother her children.
Yes.
You know, to parent her children,
yes.
and to take care of her husband, even in the evening. She's the one who comes late when everyone has gone to bed, you know. This is a personality. What would you call such kind of a problem?
It goes to a lifestyle problem.
It goes to a lifestyle.
Because
and now this man, should he just be here and say, I know she'll come in at midnight, I know she'll come in at 1, and continue with his life? What do you mean accommodating?
Accommodating is mean you sit to discuss about it, and you find a solution.
Yes, when you don't find a solution, then you have to accommodate it. When you find a solution, it is solved. It is done. So we have spoken and we've agreed from today, please come at 6. And they come at 6. So this problem is solved. But if they continuously come at 1, at midnight, at 2, and if you accommodate, then in my understanding, you should leave the door open, you know, so that she doesn't disturb your sleep, or he doesn't disturb your sleep. This man has come drunk. You don't want to wake up and warm his food. You just put this is a microwave, this is the food when you come warm, you know. So in that way, is that how to accommodate and live with it all your life?
It's not in that way. Accommodate does not mean like I give up on this marriage. I do not have any solution. No. I am saying that in every marriage, we have problem.
Yes.
And you have issues.
Yes.
And you have disagreements.
True.
And there are some disagreements which will not have solution. Even if you go and see a specialist, a family therapist.
Yes, even if someone came to you
There are some problem in marriage.
Yes, and this is the example that I've given.
Which
You are
will not
married
have
to this
solution.
drunk person.
Okay.
You know, and this is his style.
Yes.
You have spoken forever about it. Though he's remorseful and feels sorry about it, he's still able to take up his responsibilities. He still pays your house rent and still provides and schools the children and does all this that needs to be done. But his life of returning home when you need him, when you need his company, when you need to sit together and talk about serious family issues, he's unavailable. So in his daily life, he comes to your house at 1, not from work, from the club, from wherever. You know, this is a conflict.
Yes.
You know, there are people who want to quit because he's never there, she's never there. There are people who are persevering or managing. I don't know if those are the right times, the right terms, but they are here, you know, and they're set to probably live with it, you know. So would you say that these people who are in this kind of a situation are managing this problem, and now they have become the perfect couple because they know their issues and they have dealt with them in this way? So I've left the door open. You just come in, don't disturb my sleep. We'll see you tomorrow.
It might be one of the ways of solving the problem, according to that person. Okay, it might be one of the ways.
Yes.
Because if every time you talk about it and you don't see any change from your husband, from your wife,
Yes.
you just say, okay, since he does not want to listen to me, let me just leave the door open. Let me just put food for him there. He'll come and warm the food and eat. I'm at sleep. But you see that marriage is at stake. That marriage is at a point where it can collapse.
It can collapse.
Yes. Because when we talk about lifestyle, I'm not talking about abnormal behavior.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that abnormal?
Yes, it's abnormal.
Okay.
Abnormal behavior, when we talk about abnormal behavior, and you see, research has shown that men who are using drug, who are abusing drug, probably they've been traumatized in their life, and they need to seek treatment for that.
Yes.
For them to be able to be good or a good father or good husband. That's another topic for another day.
Okay.
But when we talk about a lifestyle, okay, let me just give an example which might be simple in marriage. Saving. If you get married to a man who does not know how to save,
Yes.
it becomes an issue in that marriage.
He
In a
receives
perpetual-
his pay.
And everything is being spent. The woman will wonder, which kind of man did I get married to? Okay.
Yes.
Because in
if
her
she
head,
is the one who saves.
okay.
Yes.
You
If
can
she
say-
is the one who
if
saves.
she is the one who saves.
Yes.
Okay. And then it will be like, I think I did a mistake to get married to this man. And no wonder my dad told me not to get married to this man. If I could have understood my husband and my father,
If only I listened.
if I only listened, I wouldn't have been in this situation. That's become an issue in that marriage. And they'll argue daily.
About the same thing.
Every time the man gets money, tell the children and mom, let's go take a pillar or let's go out and eat. The woman will say, this man has some money in her pocket.
Yes.
Okay. If the man does not know how to even to build, even to buy, to invest in life, it become a problem. Okay. And that I'm talking about perpetual problem. And these are the kind of issue couple are facing nowadays.
Yes.
Okay. It's because they are not well prepared about it. They do not have sufficient information prior to their wedding.
But Oshindi, are you able to know such kinds of things in a man or even in a woman? Are you able to know that this woman is not a homekeeper? You know, are you able to know that she cannot mother my children well when you're marrying her? Of course not. Are you able to know that this guy is not a risk taker? This guy is not an investor.
You can.
This guy, you know, cannot endure hardship. How can you know? When you're dating, I mean, everything is just really nice.
Yes, you can, because if you are dating someone who does not know how to save, you ask him, what is your bank account? He does not have.
When people ask you like that, Tushindi, what do you think? She's only money-minded.
No.
She just wants money.
No. Actually, even in our dating, I'm wondering what do we talk about?
What do you talk about? You know, when a woman asks you, Ushindi,
Yes.
how much money is there in your bank account? The first thing that goes into your mind is she wants to know whether I have a lot of money or not. Do you think, even you as a man in your right sense, will you tell a woman I have 0 shillings?
Actually.
You don't tell her you have 0 shillings.
Actually, Betty,
Uh-huh.
for someone whom I'm intending to get married with, she need to know everything about myself.
You don't say. You don't say for fear of being left.
And I'm saying it's because we have been socialized in a way that women or men, I mean, in relationship, they're not supposed to say everything. But, or however, we should.
We should.
We should. Because you cannot get to a man, you cannot get married to a man whom he does not even know how to save. Actually, it's true.
That could be your strength, Ushindi.
No.
That could be the strength of that person.
It's not about being-
And that person who does not save may have another strength that makes you also hang on and just want to marry him. You know?
Like?
Because, you know, I also wonder, by the way, I know there are many conflicts in marriage. And I know there's a long queue of people who are waiting to get out of that exit door, you know? And the reason they want to get out, most of them, their reasons are very petty.
Like?
You know, the reasons are very petty. He talks to me badly. You know, she doesn't respect me. Just such kinds of things. He has anger issues. Such kinds of things that people have, you know. But no one has really tangible stuff as their reasons for wanting to quit. And those who are hanging on, even though they're being battered, you know, they're still hanging on. They also still have a reason for hanging on. This marriage thing is so confusing.
It's not confusing, Betty, the way you put it.
Are you sure?
It's not confusing. I think...
These people are still hanging on with all the trouble. They don't want to go. You find this man has beaten you. He has even burnt you. He has disfigured you. And you still say, I will stay. You run away and you still come back. Some people want to quit for very petty conflicts, you know. He comes home late. The other one, he comes home late, and that late for you is after dinner, which is about 8 or 9 p.m. Another person is coming back at 1. Another one is coming back after 2 days. When he gets his money, he's not coming here for a week until. And you're still here staying.
But you see, we cannot generalize issue in marriage.
Yes, we cannot.
We cannot.
We cannot.
When someone says he does not know how to manage his emotion, that's a big problem for that person.
It's a very big problem.
Yes.
Yes, because you cannot beat them to stop it.
Because if you don't know how to manage your anger or your emotion, you can even kill me in that marriage. That becomes a real problem.
Yes.
Okay.
A real one.
A real problem.
How do we solve that? How do we solve that?
Probably go for therapy. That's one. I mean, first of all, being aware of that problem. Because if you're aware, you can seek treatment. Okay. If you know that every time you get into anger issue, okay, you know that. You know how to manage it yourself. Second, you can now seek a treatment for a therapist. Okay, and then to help you to overcome that issue. Or you can go and even seek, if you're a Christian, you can seek treatment from a pastor if you're also a Christian. That one.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, the person, the lady who is being beaten every day, and she still hang on that marriage. We need to find out what is making her to stay in that marriage.
Of course, something good.
Not really. Probably it's cultural expectation.
Yeah.
Probably.
Never divorce. Don't come back home.
Probably it's Christian perspective. Because you see some Christian, divorce is like a failing in life. Okay? So in that I'm saying, whenever they come to therapy, a therapist will check where does these things come from. You'll see a couple say, I will not leave that marriage, even if it's beating me. But you see us as a therapist, we cannot encourage someone to stay in abusive marriage. We cannot.
Yeah.
We cannot encourage someone to stay in abusive marriage.
So you'll encourage someone to walk out?
Not walk out. Probably to say, is it because you cannot help someone who is being traumatized in the same environment in which she's being traumatized? It's not possible.
Yeah.
Okay? So just tell
And you're not going to cool
No.
the burning of the fire
No.
when this person is inside the fire.
it's not possible. Okay? So just encourage, is it possible for you to go somewhere? Okay? And you see if
Deal
this
with this issue.
and you see if this issue can be dealt with. If it's possible, it's okay. Okay? But the question we should ask ourselves, why is she staying in that marriage?
Yeah.
Is it cultural perspective? Is it Christian perspective? Is it even the children? Because some women say, if I go, how my children will live?
Yeah.
Okay? And those issues are emanating from those two perspectives I mentioned. I mean, perpetual problem, which is engraved in our basic, fundamental personality trait, lifestyle, and core belief. And every time we don't solve those problems, and will not get a solution of those problems, because we are not aware of them.
Because we are not aware.
We are not
Actually,
aware.
it's so sad that all this commotion we see and the divorce and the separation is all just because of two problems
Yes.
that we are unable to solve, only two.
Yes, on to.
So you say the other part we cannot solve, but there's the solvable ones.
Yes.
So for the ones we cannot solve, one of the things I had to mention is we need to learn how to accommodate.
Yes.
How do we do that?
First of all is to accept that happiness also include problem in marriage. People need to know that.
Whatever happiness means, because if it is trouble every day, you know, it is tears every day, it is suffering every day, when am I happy?
What kind of suffering are you talking about?
The trauma he or she causes.
For instance?
If someone is coming back to the house every day at 1, at 2, does that make you happy? Does that make you smile?
It cannot make you happy.
You cook food for someone who never eats. You only eat with your children. Does that make you happy?
It does not make you happy.
And if he's not going to change for 40 years of marriage, when are you going to be happy?
Does your happiness depend on him coming early? Or does your happiness depend on you seeing things differently?
Whichever way you need to see things differently, Ushindi, I really wonder. Because you are alone, living alone with your parents and with your friends having fun, but now you're not in that environment. Now someone has subjected you into this marriage, into this home, into this kind of environment where you have to live and you have to stay here and do 1, 2, 3. You know, you have to mother and parent your children. But this is what it subjects you to. What are you supposed to do to become happy? Are you unless you say you ignore his existence and live your life.
No, you're not ignoring existence.
Yes. What are you supposed to do?
You are dealing with the issue.
How?
With your husband. And the first things I'm saying is this. When you are aware, first of all.
Yes. So I'm already aware.
Yes.
I'm already aware he abuses drugs. This is the time he will come. I am aware. That's why I don't even close the door.
Yes.
I leave the door open for him to come.
Yes.
Yes, I am aware.
And I told you this. Abnormal behavior. Okay. Like drug abuse, like everything. Okay. Should not be considered in this category of problem. That's a different problem.
That's a different thing.
That's a different problem. Of which the husband and the wife should seek treatment for that.
That is an abnormal behavior.
That's an abnormal behavior. Okay? Because you cannot get into marriage as a wife and you come late at 1 a.m. And you say, this is the life I used to live. Okay?
Yes, that's abnormal behavior.
That's abnormal behavior.
If you want to continue, don't get into marriage.
Yes. You need to be aware of that. Okay? But when we talk about solvable problem and unsolvable problem, the first thing is being able to express your emotion on how to solve this problem. And use the stance I feel bad whenever you come late home. I feel bad whenever you don't respond to my text or to my call. You need to express your emotion. That first. Okay? And you see in psychology, usually say this. The 5 minutes of argument between couple determine if this problem will be solved or not solved.
The first?
The first 5 minutes determine.
Whether the problem will be solved or not.
Because if you have harsh startup, that problem will not get solved.
Oh.
If it's a soft startup where you're expressing yourself
And saying I.
and
yes.
I, that problem will be solved. You see,
I realized I made you angry
Yes.
yesterday.
Yes. But you see, sometimes when you come in, you just you don't listen to me. Even yesterday, that the first 5 minutes determines if a problem in marriage will be solved, not be solved. Okay.
So people only need to learn what exactly are my problems in this marriage, and then group them. These ones can be solved.
Yes.
These ones can never be solved.
Cannot be, I mean, not say cannot be solved.
I can accommodate
You
them.
can accommodate them. Let me just give an example, and then you probably can look at this example where a husband, whenever he comes back from work, he remove his suit and put it on bed. And every time we tell him, please, sweetheart, please, sweetheart, please, sweetheart, don't put your suit on bed. Hang it on the nan. They say, sorry, sweetheart, I will do it. The next day you do that.
He comes and puts his
The
suit again on
same
the
day,
bed.
what will you
plus
do?
even socks.
What will you do?
I mean, you have told him, you probably have to continue telling him, or you just remove them. You already know this is character.
Yes, and that I'm saying. You remove, you hang it, and you keep quiet. Because if you want to argue, it's become a perpetual problem. Because the next day will come back again. It does the same.
And he'll even be deliberate.
Yes.
And just put it there to start a fight.
No, it's not deliberate, but you see some people who do not who do not grow in a house where we have orders and everything. Whenever you remove, just throw everything. So you grew up in a house where your wife, your father, your mom taught you how to be
organized.
To be organized. It's different.
Yes.
So this guy, when he comes back, just throw his socks. And then he says, sweetheart, I love you. And you find the socks from the door, from your bed entrance. And then you find the suit over there. You'll wonder, what kind of man did I get married with? And that I'm talking about, if you know that you have been talking about every day, your part is to be accommodative, to take it and to keep it away.
That you can do.
Yes.
Because when you go to older people to even give such kinds of complaints, they will tell you it is okay. That is just where he grew up. That is what happens in their life. He probably understands, and so they will tell you, this is not the way, or this is the way, and you will get used to it.
Yes.
You will realize, okay, I can bear it for this time. But there are things you cannot bear for real. There are things you cannot bear. There are things you have to argue about all the time.
And what I'm saying, whenever you are in a discussion, in a disagreement, I wonder how many people know the power of touch when they are solving their problem. I wonder.
The power of touch.
The power of touch. And the power of eye contact. Because if I'm in a problem with my wife and I touch her hand when she's expressing her emotion, or when she's expressing how bad she felt when I responded to her that way, that is a way of solving a problem in marriage. But how many people do that?
I get it. I get it. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed that someone who is watching has actually gotten, the fact that we only have two types of problems that are disturbing marriages, the conflicts that are killing marriages, and also the way to become the better couple. Thank you so much. Please give us your last words to our viewer.
My last word will be, happiness does not exclude a problem.
Good. Thank you. Thank you so much, viewer, for watching this episode of Chungu Cha Jamii. We were talking about becoming the perfect couple, and I hope you heard that it is not minus problems, and you only need to learn whether you're going to solve this or you are going to accommodate this. But there is no need to quit. There is always a solution. You can see a therapist, you can see a counselor. My name is Betty Akuku. I have been your host. See you next time.